All right, everybody, welcome back to the Cabral Concept. Now, you probably saw this. It's been all over the news and all over social media. And it was first reported, and I'll give you the exact study though, but it was reported on ABC News, kind of all places, right? Like actually mainstream news, saying brain tissue may contain higher amounts of microplastics than any other organ in a brand new study. And here's cutting to the chase what they found, that brain tissue contained 10 times the amount of microplastics than any one of our other organs. So what I want to do is I actually want to take you through the study, not just what ABC said. Again, I actually think it's fantastic that they're bringing this mainstream, but what they didn't necessarily share and go into might be more what we care about as a health-based community. And that's that if microplastics, so microplastics are defined by plastics that are smaller than 5 millimeters in size. But remember, they come from the plastic bags, the plastic bottles, and larger plastic-based debris that eventually breaks down and ends up in our water, exposure through things like polyester, and different even airborne particles, as well as things I've talked about in the past, like tea bags made of plastic. So it's a lot of the consumables that we are consuming that's where we are being exposed to microplastics. Never mind all of the microwavable plastic, right? Bags that they say, oh, this is microwavable safe. It's anything but safe. Like anything but safe. Maybe safe for your microwave to microwave the microplastic bag, but definitely not safe for a human, right? Microwavable bottles for children, definitely not safe for the child. Maybe safe for the bottle, but not the child, that's for sure. So what we're looking at though is microplastics. That just means small plastics that are found in our food because it's in the ocean, right? So it's in the fish as well. So here were the key findings. This is from Nature, and they did an 8-year-long study, and they found that those that died between 2016 and 2024, when they analyzed their brain, their liver, and the kidneys, they found that there was 10 times the microplastics, sometimes up to 30 times the concentrations of those of the liver and kidneys. Now, why is that important? Well, it's really important because all these people, now it's becoming less so, which is great. They're saying that your body just detoxifies everything. You don't need to do a functional medicine detox. You don't need to worry about this thing called liver detoxification. Well, it turns out that you do, because the liver and the kidneys are the two main detoxifying organs of the body. Yes, the skin is the largest excretory organ, but the majority of the excretion happens through the liver, which then moves to the intestines and comes out as a bowel movement. And then it comes through the kidneys and moves to the bladder and comes out as urine, right? That's how we excrete the majority of the toxins. Well, it turns out those two, they're happy to get rid of the toxins. Turns out when they can't get rid of all of them, as we've been saying for the past 15 years in the functional medicine field, they go to your fat stores, they go to your adipose tissue, and they go to your brain because your brain is also fatty tissue as well, and it gets stored there. Now, when it gets stored there, what happens? Well, it creates inflammation. We know that inflammation can lead to beta amyloid plaque and other inflammatory components that could cause a breakdown in neurons or neural synapses that could lead to Parkinson's or inflammation that could lead to dementia and Alzheimer's. So we're seeing a direct correlation right now. Obviously, we can't do a study by injecting microplastics into a person's brain and seeing if they develop dementia, right? So we're just looking at correlation right now and assuming causation. Is it the only thing? No. But for sure, let me give you, this is an crazy statistic. That highlights the study's findings of a 50% increase in microplastic concentrations in the brain tissues over the 8-year study. That means there has been an exponential increase in microplastics in the environment and exposure in humans from 2016 to 2024. Meaning the effects are only growing and getting worse because the exposure is multiplying. A 50% increase is enormous within 8 years. That should never happen. One of the issues, though, is these microplastics are not breaking down, so they're continuing to accumulate in our environment, therefore contaminating the human body and brain. So Brilliant work by Professor Tamara Galloway. I always love to give credit where credit is due. They are advocating for far more research in this particular field, which I think is, obviously warranted and extremely necessary. But what can we do? What can we do right now? Because I never want to be the bearer of bad news without being able to do anything. Here's what we want to do. We want to greatly reduce our single-use product plastics. So about a year ago, I said, no more plastic water bottles. I don't care if it's spring water. I don't care if it's the best Icelandic water in the whole world. What I want to do is only have glass water bottles. Now, again, I know that that's a luxury. I totally understand it. But also, I said, let's just cut down on all water bottles in general. On my desk right here, and it's just a mason jar. I've got a bunch of these ball mason jars. The wide mouth ones are the ones that I love. And I just fill it up with my reverse osmosis hydrogen water machine. And that's what I drink the vast majority of the day. And then at dinner, if I want to have something, a little spicy, I might have a San Pellegrino out of a glass bottle. That's it. So we want to do our best. Now, again, is that more of a luxury? I totally get it. Yes. But I'll tell you right now, if you invest at least in just a water filter, then you can drink water and not have to deal with as much of the plastic. Although, yes, I do know, unfortunately, that it's a lot of these plastic tubings that are leading it to your house as well. The second is, and everybody can do this, do not heat your food in plastic containers or plastic bags. That has to be the worst offense. It really is. You're basically heating up the plastic and moving those microplastics into your food and you're consuming the food. Really dangerous. Right? Really dangerous. So we want to be careful of that. I would say along that line, heating food, heating tea bags that are made from microplastics. So if you're going to consume tea, I recommend green tea matcha or loose leaf tea, and just using a stainless steel ball, which I've given you on a Friday review before, or any loose leaf strainer, just to make your own tea that way. So it's going to be way healthier, probably far better for you, more phytonutrients in that as well. So, all right, the next one, this isn't easy. I'm not gonna say that it's not. A lot of our athletic clothing is absolutely made of polyester and different forms of little microplastics. I have to get better at it. I'm saying it myself. I totally agree. But especially at least with your underwear, try to get a natural-based bamboo, organic cotton-based material. At least what goes against your skin as much as possible, try to make that not polyester. All right. The next one, and I think that this is important, then cutting down not just on what you consume, but also what you're putting out into the world. So plastic bags. Again, I'm not perfect at this, but in my truck, I keep a cold bag and I keep just a scrunched up bag that I can use when I go shopping. So I try to cut down on the amount of plastic bags that I'm using. Am I perfect? No. I just do my best with what I can. And at least every time I go out, then I'm saving a couple of plastic bags. Great. Over the course of a year, that does add up. Now, if I'm the only one doing it, which of course that I'm not, is it going to make a big deal? No. But what if 1 million listeners of the show all started to use a bag 80% of the time, like their own bag that they kind of bring with them in their car. So instead of going when they go to CVS or, whatever, Rite Aid or any of these different places, that they have those bags and they're tiny and they're reusable and they're great. Why not use those? So that's another big one as well. But really it is what comes into our body in terms of our liquids and our food that we really want to be able to decrease. So that's my big thing. And then a couple others, if I can. You want to use your functional medicine detox on a quarterly basis. You can use Ecolife's or use another company's. I'm fine either way, but get these things mobilized out of your body. Do at least a 7-day every 12 weeks. The other thing is, although there's not a great data on it yet, being able to sweat 4 or 5 times a week, ideally with infrared sauna, can help to hopefully mobilize these through the body. Use your copper dry brush, start to move the lymphatic system, jump on a rebounder, then get in the sauna. All of those things can be beneficial as well. So hopefully this was helpful. I'm going to link up that nature study. Maybe I'll even link up the ABC. We'll give ABC a little bit of a fist bump. Why not? So we'll link that up here today at stephencabral.com/33 Let's see here. Today's episode is 3310. StephenCabral.com/3310. Do feel free to share that show with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Cabral Concept. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.